Today's everyday carry is the Palmetto State Armory Micro Dagger. It's a firearm I've been really looking forward to. It's been highly anticipated, and it kept selling out. It's been kind of hard to get your hands on. I purchased this last December around Christmas time. They had a special. Jumped on it, and like the first 5 minutes I received the email, I think it sold out within probably 20 minutes after that email was sent. I sent it to a few people. They weren't able to purchase. Apparently it was sold out. So it's a little easier to get your hands on now, but there's a reason why it's sold out. It's a phenomenal firearm, and I'm going to go through it. We'll take it down, we'll clean it, put it back together. We'll go through some comparisons between that and another dagger. They do make a full size, a compact, and this is the micro. I'll show you what you get with it. Then we'll go through some of the features and then similarities between that and like the Glock 43X, which it is actually a clone of. So what you get is you get a soft range bag, kind of nice from Palmetto State. Lock. You also get some hardware for the optic cut. For the optic, it is a Shield RMSC. You get the screws. You get the Allen wrench. Mags. I think you get one. I'm not sure. I think I bought another one, but here's the mag. Reason it is one of the reasons it's such a great firearm is that it actually holds 15 in this package. So being like 6 inches in length and 3.41 inch barrel, a compact size, you actually get 15 rounds plus one in the chamber. So the capacity is phenomenal. Price is phenomenal. I think I bought it for $350. But for what you get, if you were to get a same thing version of a Glock, which would be a Glock 43X MOS, being that it has an optic cut, I mean, you're looking at like $600. So, I don't know, 40% less. But let's get this out of the way, and we'll take a look at the actual firearm and the holster. So I have a Kydex holster. It's kind of a carbon fiber version, but it is Kydex. You do have a tension screw in order to adjust the tension when you're drawing. It does cover the trigger guard very well, and you can adjust the tension for when you draw. $25, I believe, CYA from Amazon. I have a lot of them. They're good, particularly if you're carrying small to the back or 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, that area. Maybe not so good if you are carrying appendix, but I have a lot of them. I like them. And the good thing is they're all compatible with Glock 43X. So if you wanted to, change between the holster you have for a Glock 43X, this will fit. So that's always nice. Now, not loaded for our purposes. If I'm carrying it, it's always loaded. If you don't, it's dead man's gun. But let's take a look at the features. So you get front serrations. So it's nice if you have an optic and you want to rack from the front. You get the rear serrations if you don't have an optic. I don't have an optic on this one. At this time, I probably will in the future. Let's look at the sights. You get the 3-dot system. It's day sights, so no stock night sights. That's fine. They're easy to change out. Again, it's Glock accessories, so very easy to find something that's compatible. You get a nice beaver tail that's high, so I like to, obviously, for me, grip high. You get a little bit more control on the firearm, particularly something that's smaller. Now, the interesting thing with this is it's a steel slide, so it's not poly. It's a steel slide and DLC. So no problems in terms of rust. I have some Rugers that have rusted with the different alloy that they use, but DLC is pretty good. And you get grips up here for your offhand, which I really like. You have them on the trigger side too. At least for me, I'm being right-handed. I like this. If you have a smaller firearm, there's usually less to kind of hold on to. And because of the smaller firearm and the typical lighter weight of a smaller firearm, they're a little bit snappier. So having a little bit more grip to hold on to on this side, I actually enjoy. Now you can add that to a regular Glock or another firearm. You could buy some Talon grips or some handlebar grips and do it yourself. But why if it comes stock, right? So you also get a nice grip here on the frame. You can see the grip. Got Palmetto State there. Kind of emblem there on the side. Right. Trigger's actually nice on this one. It's not too bad. So I'll go through the trigger again. See it on this side. So see it traveling. There's the wall right there. And then there's a little creep into the break. So not a super light trigger. I'm not exactly sure what the poundage is, but it's not bad, particularly for a defense firearm. You could shoot this at the range relatively comfortably, put some rounds through it, but main purpose is a defense firearm. So Not super concerned about the trigger being absolutely phenomenal. It's good enough. You do have a portion here to easily put a light, and being that it works with Glock 43X parts, there's tons of lights that are compatible, tons of triggers that are compatible if you want to swap out, tons of takedowns. Basically everything is compatible with that Glock name. In terms of reliability, I haven't had any issues. I've probably, I don't know, 400 or 500 rounds through it maybe so far. No issues, no failures, no stovepipes, running pretty good. Excuse me. Again, shield cut optic if you want to throw an optic on. I don't at the time again, but let's take a little bit of look inside. Well, I'll let you see a little bit more of the firearm first. All right, so it's a pretty good looking firearm. All right, let's take the mag out. Here you go, and we'll take it down. Being that it's a Glock styled firearm, it is very easy to take down. This is what I'm most familiar with, right? So we're gonna take a little tension off of the guide rod. We're gonna pull the takedown pins down. Let this go. Squeeze trigger. Comes right off. Easy. So we'll go through it. We'll clean it a little bit. Let you see the frame inside. Again, this is stock. Everything is stock. And we'll do a little clean. I cleaned it not too long ago, but we'll go through a quick clean. Why not? Take this apart here first. Take out the guide rod. Take out the barrel. See, the barrel is not fluted. 3.41 inches, I believe. Solid though. You know, it's just as accurate as a 43X, which is perfectly fine. It's not my most accurate firearm, but for a defense firearm, it doesn't have to be. Let me throw these on. Get a little sip of coffee. Why not? I don't like the chemicals on my skin, so if you do have any type of gloves, I would recommend them. And we'll go through a quick clean. I don't have my cleaning squares with me, so I got to use paper towels. I typically don't like to because you can get fibers kind of stuck in there, but we'll be a little cautious. We'll get it done. So first I'm going to clean the inside of the barrel. I'm just going to take a little bit of, this is a Hops cleaning kit. So it's just Hops gun cleaner. It's going to go through the barrel. Right, simple as that. Get that out of there. And we'll dab a little bit. And we'll go over the guide rod, which is typically not much of a concern, but we'll hit it. And we'll go inside the frame. So we want to make sure we're getting off any carbon residue that you get from using the firearm. We want to avoid any misfires or malfunctions, particularly being a defense round, because your life is literally in your hands if you would to need your defense firearm. Alright, so I'm getting all the common spots that typically have a lot of carbon buildup, but being that this firearm was clean not too long ago, not going to do a thorough clean, doesn't really need it. You do get a lot of carbon, particularly right here, so we'll get that a little bit more. Alright, I'll go down in here a little bit. I usually don't get the firing pin too substantial. If you want to give it a quick dab, that's fine. I don't put oil on it, but that's pretty much it. So simple as that. See, there's a little bit of carbon, but not much. All right, get the outside of the barrel. Simple as that. If you want to get the top of the mag, there's typically a little buildup here. It's not significant concern, but if you want to, lift this up here just in case we don't want to spill it. Done that too many times. So now I'm going to throw some oil on. So I typically pay special attention to the metal on metal contact points just to reduce any wear and tear or friction. This is a Lucas gun oil, I believe. Cheap. I think it's a Sportsman's warehouse purchase. Now I'm going to go down the side of the frame. So right here, when we hit it on the side of the frame, when we rack the slide, when we run it a little bit, it's going to disperse onto the slide. There we go. And I'm going to get this metal contact point, this one as well. So we're oiled here pretty good. I'm also going to oil the outside of the barrel. I don't really oil the inside, but just to reduce any wear and tear, any chance that it may rust, I'm going to try and reduce that chance by hitting the outside of the barrel. You can throw a few drops on the guide rod if you want. just kind of work that in. Pretty easy. And if you want to, you can throw a little bit. I like to a little bit just on the outside, couple drops. It's a pretty good frame, but I have had some that have rusted. All right, pretty easy. Let's throw it back together. So first we'll throw that barrel back in. It'll sit like this, and then we're gonna throw the guide rod in, and we're just gonna make sure that's in there tight. This is what essentially cycles the next round and blows back. I'm gonna hit, so it's not too bad. And we're gonna line the holes on the back plate up, and we're just gonna slide this right back in. If I can line it up appropriately. There we go. Run it a little bit, smooth like butter, running like a sewing machine. So now I'm going to show you the difference between that and a compact dagger. So not loaded also for our purposes. You can see them here. So they hold the same in terms of capacity. This is a little bit bigger. I think it's 4¼ inch barrel, I believe. It's modeled after Glock 19. This is modeled after Glock 43X. Smaller package, same rounds, both great firearms. I'll do a little bit more on this guy in a little bit and the other daggers that I do have. But for the price and what you get, I can't speak more highly of this firearm. Actually, both of them. I think Palmetto State's a great company. I've used them on a number of firearms. The shipping's pretty good in terms of the speed, reliability, and the process is pretty easy. And they make great quality firearms. It's easy to purchase other firearms from them in terms of, if you want to get a Glock or a SIG or Smith & Wesson, or if you want to buy their Palmetto State brand. I've always had great experiences with them and have bought a number of firearms with them. So just kind of looking at a final recap of this guy here. Throw the mag back in. But what you get, 15+1 DLC coat firearm with an optic, pretty good trigger, and the compatibility of a Glock 43X, all for about $350. I mean, this is hard to beat. So I carry this guy quite frequently. Hasn't done me wrong yet, but make the call.